Greetings. So, it's time to get your questions answered. I've noticed, though, now I have 10 times the subscribers that I did last time I did this. I barely even got half the questions that I did last time. But okay. Let's go with it. Truth Hurts asks, how's your novel going? Not very well. Basically school. I have my priorities. I know I'm not a novel writer, but you know I can't be if I don't write a novel. I got a drawing pad and a sketch to help me describe things and how I want to portray something. So if I can draw it out, I can give the basic idea. Okay, how do I want to describe this? How do I want to set the reality for it, I guess. I've only done a little bit more brainstorming and how I want the societies to work and how I want them to look and feel. But as far as plot goes, it's still overall the same. I'm still considering things or swapping some things out just to help it, but it hasn't gone anywhere basically. I want to believe 2887. Have you read Atheism Explained: Follow You to Philosophy by David Ramsay Steele? Actually no, but I have it. If so, what do you think of the postscript to part 3? I actually just read that part before answering this, but basically he gives objections to, I guess you can say, bad atheist arguments, and he pretty much makes 3 points. The point against it's a bad idea to say that, you know, theism bad because, you know, the religious people do X, Y, and Z horrible things, and he could point out that there are, you know, political ideologies that have nothing to do with religion can pretty much do the same thing, and that much is pretty much true. And he says, well, that does nothing to the truth of the argument. They could still do horrible things and it yet be true. But he also kind of brings up the point, well, if you're trying to say that, you know, this is why religion is important, he understands that. And that's pretty much the point. It's all about, because when the theist asks, why do I care, that's what I say. It's not because it's false, it's because of the effects of it. And so that makes it important. I think a video, How Dogma Works, talks about communism as a dogma, and so I think it pretty much sums up my feelings according to that, and what it does. Okay, what it does is it sums up my feelings. And then he makes another objection that pointing out, you know, if you're born in this region, you'd be a Hindu, and if you're born in another, you'd be a Christian, and you're born in another, you'd be a Muslim or whatever. He says that's the genetics fallacy, and we shouldn't be doing that. And there's, you know, a pervasive pattern in these 3 arguments that he makes is that somehow all arguments that atheists make against religion are all about whether it makes religion true or not. And that's the thing, not all these arguments that are made against religion are necessarily against the truth of religion. The point that I would actually bring up in that is that, theists don't really consider why they believe what they believe, and pointing this thing out is just a method of having them to realize that, you know, having them to really examine why they believe it, whether it just being a cultural happenstance for them being in that religion. The last one I forget, but it's still you know, it's still sort of thing. He mistakes the argument as something arguing against a truth position rather than it really isn't arguing against the truth of religion. And that's the three things he keeps on bringing up. Homo cyborg zombie. If you were to choose one religion could make true, which one would you choose? It'd be badass, most humble, peaceful. It has to include gods. Why does it have to include gods? I can't pick Buddhism. Well, that kind of sucks. I can't pick Raelianism. Actually, I think I would choose the Nordic, because I think it's I'm sort of like, I like reading fantasy books and stuff like that, and that's where you get dwarves. Even I think the inspiration what is it with me today? The inspiration for the Lord of the Rings. It talks about rings of power. And it has dwarves, and it has all sorts of things, and I think I would kind of like reality like that, but I think that's what I would pick. Question 1, which are your top 3 theists on YouTube and why? If somebody asked what are my top 3 YouTubers would like, I normally would answer those who typically entertain me, but the qualifier of top 3 theists, I don't think I could put that same sort of qualifier on them. I don't think of it as entertaining, and those that I subscribe to is just basically to keep tabs on them. If I like them, it's because they're a good person, and not because they're a theist. And I don't want to go into that sort of thing. I think some of them have disappointed me in that, and I don't want to be saying anything more about that, because I don't want to be causing drama. So I think that's just going to have to suffice. Question 2, if you could convince 3 atheists to abandon YouTube, who would you pick and why? Aminham. Definitely Aminham. He is just the most verbally abusive ad hominem bastard that I have ever known. And I think YouTube would be better without him. Brett Keane would be another. Really, you notice the pattern here. There are also people who also make lots of videos per day, so they are taking up a bandwidth, and his style is okay, but he just does stuff that gets him in trouble, and he always tries to lie his way out of it. And I think that for the wear is, not very good. Third one, I can think of any more beyond that, but Brett Keane and Aminham certainly be the first 2 that I'd instinctively choose. Question 3, Kirk or Picard? Picard. Not only because I grew up with Next Generation, I like his style. He's just not some sort of playboy gallivanting around space. He's actually exploring it, and he is a person of both, I think, of great character and great compassion, and I think that he does that very well for his position as a captain. Okay, enough nerd talk. Tattoo Skin asks, what is your opinion why the U.S. seems to be such a strange hold on religion when most of the free world has abandoned for a more fundamentalist belief? I think for whatever reason, the way that America was founded, it seems to have a strange sort of deference for Protestantism. And Protestantism seems to have a deference to a more fundamentalist, conservative Christianity sort of position in America, and they tend to be the most vocal. and the most active in this country. And even though they're only fundamentalists only make about a quarter of America. I mean, there are other Christians that are more moderate and more liberal in America, as well as those who are other faiths and other non-faiths, of course. For whatever reason, they garner the most power because I guess they're just the most vocal and the most active. And everybody else is sort of just letting them do it. I think if everyone actually, voted towards a more common sense and actually cared about how America's run, I think it would be a more progressive. America would be more progressive in general. Screaming Bloody Gore. Do you play Blizzard Entertainment games? Well, who doesn't? I have World of Warcraft and I have StarCraft 2 right now. I haven't been playing them lately because I've been busy with school. But, yeah. And, the last question. I can't pronounce that. Nirwop? N-I-R-I-O-P. However you say that. Is this a stupid question? No. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Just inquisitive idiots. And that's it. That's all the questions. I'll do more later. I have other things planned. But I just haven't had the time. Been working on my every 5 weeks I have a new semester basically, and almost every semester I've been required to write a 5-page paper on something. And I'm now doing it on the Apache versus IIS, which is both are web servers. So you can imagine how fun that is right about now. And I guess when I get the time, I'll get back to the videos I want to do. But right now, I'm pretty busy. So I hope you enjoyed that, and take care.